What's going on, guys? Sean Nalewanyj, SeanNal.com, RealScienceAthletics.com. And in this video here, I want to talk about an important mindset shift that a lot of people out there need to make, which is to stop expecting perfection from your fitness program. Before I jump into it, if you're new to the channel and you find this advice helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below to stay up to date on future videos. And also make sure to follow me over on Instagram as well, where I post daily muscle building and fat loss tips, stories, personal updates, and other information that you'll definitely want to stay in the loop on. It's at Sean_Nalewanyj. That's where you'll find me when I'm not here on YouTube. So this is something that I see so often. Someone makes the decision that they're going to get into shape. They want to put on some muscle, lose some fat. They go ahead and do their research and map out a training and nutrition plan. They get started and things are smooth sailing for maybe a few weeks or even a few months. And then the second one thing goes off track, they basically just fall apart. So maybe something comes up and they miss a week of training, or their diet goes off course for a short-term period for whatever reason, or they just feel a general dip in their motivation levels. One or maybe two things happen and they get all discouraged and start thinking they've ruined their progress. Maybe the fitness thing just isn't for them. They don't have what it takes to make it work, and they ultimately just fizzle out and quit. So two things to keep in mind here. First off, perfection is flat out impossible, no matter how dedicated and consistent you are overall. And secondly, perfection isn't even necessary in order to achieve your muscle building and fat loss goals in the first place. If you're going into things expecting perfection, or you've been at it for a while and things have been more or less perfect so far and you're just expecting it to continue that way, so you're expecting your training and nutrition and motivation to be 100% on point all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all that's going to do is A, stress you out mentally and make your day-to-day life just a less enjoyable and more anxious experience in general. And B, it's actually going to lower your chances for success in the long term because you'll be much more likely to get really discouraged anytime you slip up, which will probably eventually cause you to resent your fitness plan and to burn out. Obviously, you need to work hard and you need to be consistent with things in the overall picture if you want to achieve significant results. But I would say that getting things right somewhere around 80 to 90% of the time is going to be good enough. If you're putting in high quality workouts that are fully on point 80 to 90% of the time, you're getting in your approximate calorie and macro needs 80 to 90% of the time, your sleep is up to par 80 to 90% of the time, etc., you're going to achieve great results over the long term. And keep in mind that this 80 to 90% figure is talking about the long-term average over the course of months and years, not in terms of individual days. Okay, no matter what you do, you're going to have some days or even some weeks that are, 60%, 30%, or even 10%. But what truly matters is how things look once you add up the month and the year as a whole. So stay on point with things as best as you reasonably can. Be consistent with your training and nutrition targets most of the time. But when you do inevitably slip up for whatever reason, and trust me, you will, everyone does, when that happens, don't be too hard on yourself, especially if it's the result of something that you had no control over. Just say, okay, this is part of that 10 to 20% allowance that I get to have. This is part of the process and is to be expected. And then just get back on track the next day or the next week or even the next month, depending on what the situation is. Sometimes really shitty things happen that you can't prevent, maybe an illness or a family issue or something along those lines, and maybe it throws you off course over a longer period. But just keep that bigger picture vision in mind. The thing is, as long as you're making continued progress in the bigger picture and you don't quit, then you're still gonna hit your goal eventually. And the simple fact that you reach your fitness goal, period, is far more important than the specific time frame that it takes you to get there. In the grand scheme, whether you reach your goal physique in 2 years or 2 years and 6 months or 3 years and 3 months, it's really not gonna make much difference overall. Because remember that fitness is not some sort of short-term program, okay? If you want to build a lean, strong, muscular body, then you're going to be training and eating for that body not just for a year or 2 or 3, but for the rest of your life. So a few months or even a year or two in terms of going from where you are now to that goal physique, it's kind of trivial in the big picture. So the bottom line here is to aim for consistent progress rather than perfection. And when you adopt this type of mindset, when you stop expecting things to be perfect, when you go into the process expecting that things are going to go off course from time to time, not only will you just be less stressed out in general, but then when something doesn't go as planned, it won't rattle you in the same way. You'll understand that in a way, there is no such thing as going off course in the absolute sense because those slip-ups are part of the course itself. And remember that it's the same way for everyone, okay? For me, for every other fitness YouTuber you follow, for everyone you see at the gym, not just for you. Every single person out there deals with ups and downs along the way. If you did find the information in this video helpful and you want to learn exactly how to structure your training and diet in the practical step-by-step sense, then make sure to take my physique quiz over at quiz.seannall.com, because that'll give you access to the proper program that you need to gain muscle and lose fat optimally based on your specific goals, body type, and experience level. You can click up here for that or use the link in the description box. On the supplementation side of things, you can also visit realscienceathletics.com to check out my research-backed, no BS supplements that I personally formulated to help fully streamline your program and optimize your overall results. Link is also in the description. And make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already in order to stay in the loop on all of my future content. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.